She unfollowed me, man. She unsubscribed from the fucking podcast too, man. She sent me a DM of a fucking ear, all bloody and shit. Said that's what it's like when she listen to my shit. I don't know what to do, eh? I don't know what to do. Just thinking they got my fucking followers and listeners on their way to work or chilling at the crib, just listening and following this shit, B. I'm dying. I mean, I just don't know what to do. I'm dead out here, B. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm about to get on some real murder shit, eh? Any motherfucker that follow me on Instagram, any bitch that don't think I'm funny or said some weak, jealous shit about me on Facebook is fucking dead, B. They fucking dead. I don't give a fuck about nothing, eh? But I need my listeners back, B. I need my followers back. I'm dead out here, B. I can't function without them, B. I can't. I said,
what up? What up, world? We're here with episode 8 of Let's Vibe TV. And I got a special announcement for y'all today. I got a very special announcement for y'all today. The announcement is, this is the last fucking episode. There's no more show. I'm stopping it today. I can't take it. I'm joking. I'm talking shit. I'm just smoking chill. Actually, I'm about to announce that the album Daz Exotic will be dropping on the 29th, the end of the season. On the show will be taking like a very, very quick break on May 29th. And so the album, Brandon Exotic, will be dropping May 29th, y'all. It's going to be crazy. Lots of features. And I'm excited about it, yo. It's going to be mad fun. Today's guest, which you saw in the opening skit, if you peeped it, is fucking hilarious. But I can't do a proper introduction for the man. I got to let a big dog come introduce our guest for today.
What's up, y'all? This is Master P, the Ice Cream Man. You're checking out PodSon Radio. Salute to all my soldiers out there.
Yo.
What's good, man? What's poppin'? What's going on with you? What you got cracking over there, man? You look like you're on serious quarantine mode, man.
Ooh, hold on. Explain. Break it down for me.
I'm
I
just
look rough? Is that what you're trying to
yeah.
tell me?
You definitely look rough. Ain't nothing wrong with it though, man. You gotta live it up. You know what I mean? You in what they call you in work mode. That's probably what it is, right?
Nah. Well,
yeah. You look rough, man. Go get that cut up. But thanks for having me, dog.
no, hold on. We're gonna talk about this though. See, my barber opened back up, but the thing about it is he got all these fucking contraptions around his shit. And it looks scary to get a haircut right now. The nigga got a face. There's no way he can properly see my face when he cuts
you
my
better take
shit.
I think you should take your chances right now. I heard the whole state of Georgia done open back up. Get out there and live your life, man.
You know what, nigga? Just because you like the whole baby face villain, at least I keep it real with chicks. It's like, yeah, I'm a creep. Look at the fucking beard.
What you mean? That's real about you. I'm a clean nigga. That's real about me. What are you talking about? And I can't grow one of those beards even if I wanted to. I couldn't grow it. Like it just doesn't happen. This is about the extending my facial hair with a little extra patches. Like I don't grow it. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to do.
Well, sorry, my shit is more, it grows more. That's really for viewers at home. Don't let this spin artist sway your opinion of my beautiful beard because he can't grow one. It's what sensitive dark skinned niggas.
I'm weak. I'm weak. Listen, for viewers at home, even if you are gonna have a big beard, don't let him have you not be clean. Trim that shit up and have it lined up. Presentation at all times.
Yo, you over here using jungle tactics to assassinate my character on my TV show.
I'm happy to be here. I just miss you. I'm happy to be here. So I gotta talk to you like I miss you.
Oh no, hey, that's what I brought you on here for. Motherfuckers love hearing my black ass get roasted. So I just try to give the viewers what they want, even if it
I get roasted all the time. Nigga told me I had a Yo Gotti hairline, and I gotta live with that. It is what it is. It is what it is, bro. Hey, I give it back though.
If you got a Yo Gotti hairline, I'd hate to know what motherfuckers call my hairline.
Oh shit, yeah, although I be forgetting. You be rocking the hat all the time. But anyway,
Damn,
I'm happy to be here, dog. What's up, man?
No, I'm so happy. Come on, man. Let me shoot it. You're funny because at the beginning of every show, I literally will talk about nothing with the guests until they get to the point where they're like, all right, nigga, where's the fucking questions? It's a game I like to play with my guests. And you definitely did not tolerate the bullshit.
Nah, I'm chop shit with you. We're going to chop a lot of bullshit, too. Trust me, I'm going to chop shit with you, man. We're going to go everywhere you want to go.
Yo, the show is all about educating. It's all about laughing. And it's all about entertaining. It's all about all that at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
So who's hosting then? I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm fucking with you.
Who's hosting?
You said it's all about education and entertainment and laughter.
Yo, the show is hosting itself. It's the beautiful thing about this function. It's why I look like Noah, because it's a boat that has just taken me to that. And I'm collecting all the fucking animals right now.
Yeah, you definitely look biblical. You look very biblical. Where you get that hat from, bro?
Where'd I get it? And nigga, where'd you get that tight ass t-shirt from? I told you about borrowing your son's clothes, nigga.
What you mean, bro? I got this from your little brother Zach. I got this from Futuristic, bro. Express Mail.
Oh my God. You know, the sad thing is he liked the status saying you was going to be on today's show. And so now that you on here and he hears it, he's going to be like, I am never, ever liking a status of a this
yeah, he know I'm about to go crazy.
Brother.
He know I'm about to go crazy for sure.
He know I'm about to go crazy.
Hey, shout out to your brother though. On another note, shout out to your brother.
With the #1 album on iTunes.
Shout out, man, please. That's not small potatoes. That's big shit. So big. This ain't my show, but big shine for that, Zachariah. You the motherfucking dog.
He's finally gonna cut me a check. Finally.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Stop it. Yo, it's very unprofessional for me. Like, wait, hold on. It's unprofessional for me to be laughing during our interview, right? That's, you're not supposed to.
This is going to be great content. This is amazing content. I think we're flowing.
Okay. I'm just asking the expert because a huge part of why I brought you on here was because I'm extra nervous doing this shit. And you've literally already served your purpose. You're like, damn, nigga, you got to get your look together if you're going to be doing the podcast thing. It don't even matter.
That's a joke. You be who you are, bro. Be who you are. I'm just talking shit.
Yo, hold on. I'm not really taking it personally at all, bro.
I'm just making sure.
Never. This is what I brought you. here for it, nigga. So don't draw back. We go all the way in, nigga. We double down on shit around these parts, around this
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Let's
So
go.
and it's and everybody and just so you've been doing interviews. How did it start? We're gonna get the interview rolling. How did it start for you? Did it start like you was asking a hood nigga too many questions on the corner? Like, where does the nigga like yourself develop these kind of skills?
Well, let me give you some advice other than podcasting. Before I start with the podcasting advice and tell you how I started. Don't ever ask a nigga on the corner too many questions. Ever. It's never gonna go well. Ever. Like, trust me. All right. That's advice number one.
I'm taking notes.
Okay. Um, Another thing I want to say before I talk about where I started, one thing that I'll say is cool about like what me and you was talking about is you kind of let people into the actual background and like you get vulnerable. I think that's one thing that I don't do enough. So like you like letting people behind the curtain, and that's a hell of a move. You know what I'm saying? But where I got started, bro, and can you hear them in the background?
Yeah, turn your background down a little bit.
Oh yeah, let me he take it here, y'all. But so bro, the way I got started, I really have a journalism background, bro. Like coming back from high school, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I did. I went to a school called Dysart, so it was VHS. So I ran. Well, I didn't run, but I was a big part of the DTV program. I used to be on the news. We was interviewing people back then, putting together stories like news stories. I learned how to work a teleprompter. I learned video editing. I learned all that like at a very young age. So I kind of started from there. And then before I started the actual podcast, I had just quit my 9 to 5 and I was wanting to get more into the media side of things, but I was looking into the aspect of going either radio or television and kind of exploring those opportunities. And I was living in Bradenton, Florida at the time. And one thing, you live in Georgia, so it probably doesn't resonate with you as much. But living in Arizona, the podcast industry hadn't really, it's starting to tick a little bit, but like I'm like really like one of the big pioneers of the podcast industry. But while I was in Florida in 2016, it was booming. It was booming. Everybody was already doing podcasts. So I'm like, man, I could either go this radio or TV route, or I can go back home, get a head start this podcast, and I already know all my skills going to align with it. So that's kind of how I started specifically with the podcast. But I always had a journalism background.
Awesome. Well, I learned something today. That's what's up. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I was just talking shit. Now, don't be
No, you're
sensitive.
good. You're good. You're good. I'm trying to. I want to answer it to the best of my ability. You know what I mean? Make sure I give you the real. You know. So when I watch this, I know I ain't give it. You know, I gave it the full. You know, effort.
For sure. For sure. Who was the first person you interviewed?
The first person I interviewed wasn't even a musician. He was actually an athlete from ASU. Jamal Miles, he's a wide receiver and kick returner and a punt return specialist at ASU. But he was like, he holds a lot of records there still to this day. So, but I knew him from like around the way just through your network, because I feel like that's the best way to start with conducting your interviews is like, you know, using your network to the best of its ability. So I tapped in with Jamal and I was like, let's do an interview. I put together like a 40-minute interview for him. I made it flow. And then after that, it just was a trickle down effect. But yeah, Jamal Miles, check him out if anything. On YouTube to this day, you'll see him tearing shit up at ASU. But a football player.
For sure. It was him his glory days?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's still, I can't say that. He went in championships with the Rattlers right now.
I was like, don't do him like that.
He went in championships with the Rattlers right now, honestly. But as far as when he was the coldest, that probably was then. Yeah, ASU.
That's the good thing about rapping. I could still be cold, like, later on in my life. I can be 60 and still be cold, but there's no
You
way to
can
still
be, but you could also be 30 and washed up. So it can go either way. It depends what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's not like it's each his own, you know?
Okay. So when you're looking for people to interview, like what you said, you start off with the basis of people that you know. So I'm following that guideline pretty well.
To a T, absolutely. Yeah.
Of course. Well, this has been something I've kind of finagled with for a while. And shout out Brian Westbrook. He gave me like a show and a platform like years ago. It wasn't live, and I was new to it. And then Bright Lights made me so nervous. It's completely different being in front of the camera and talking, and being a nigga who's being able to talk when the camera is off. It takes a lot of practice to exercise that.
Yeah.
How'd you realize that it was something that you wanted to do or was passionate about?
I mean, like I said, really just coming from back in the day, like it's just always been a part of me, you know, like even before I got into doing the classes, like I was always big on current events and, you know, wanting to report the news. I don't know, bro. It's just like, even though now it's a different type of
So you
reporting.
like to gossip is basically what you saying,
Absolutely
right?
not. If I did that, I'd be viral already. I would have been viral a long time ago. I don't do that at all. That's not my style.
Okay.
But but it was funny though.
But I do remember you almost had me in tears that one day. I done told you a crazy story, and you was like, "I am telling your brother right now," and I had to be
Oh
like,
yeah, I just be
"PodSon,
joking, bro.
don't do it."
Yeah, no, I just be joking, bro. I don't be serious. I be talking a lot of shit. I was just kicking shit with my
It
boy
was
over here. He's telling me
ringing
some
and
shit. I was like, I'm gonna go
everything.
say it
He
on the
picked up
podcast.
the phone. I was like, it was
Yeah,
terrible.
I'm always talk shit. That's one thing I'm gonna definitely do. Yeah, I'll be ready for
Rest
that.
in peace, Pop Smoke.
Yeah, oh man, for sure, young dude.
So, when did you okay? What made you decide to incorporate music in what you were doing? And what was like, and even now, your last interview was with an athlete, as a matter of fact. Well, last night you interviewed an artist. Am I correct? And who is that artist?
Artist, athlete, Will Clay. He's an Olympian, but he's an artist. He does it all. I mean, he does his thing. You know what I mean? He's both though.
Damn, you interviewing Olympians, nigga?
Well, he's not the first Olympian I interviewed. I interviewed Maurice Green, who was the fastest man in the world. So that was my first Olympian.
Was it a quick interview?
No, it's like an hour, hour and 50. Actually, Maurice Green was like 2 hours. Will Clay was like 2 hours also. Last night, Will
No,
Clay was like 30 minutes. But yeah, I do
I
them
was.
pretty long when I'm interested.
You gave me an extra short one. No, I'm joking. We interviewed all fucking day when we did our shit.
Yeah,
And we
your
even
Pop's
went to.
interview was hella fun.
Oh my gosh, that's lit. And we'll even drop some of the links to these interviews in the comment section. After the show later on, whatever. Eventually, they will be in the comments. Because there's some good ass content, and you even got to eat. You ate my pop's food. You
Yes, he was a hell of a cook. Shout out to Pops, man. I fuck with him, man, for sure. When I go back to the A, I'm gonna definitely tap in. That's a fact.
don't be calling my dad like that, man. That's
Oh,
my dad.
I ain't even gonna hit you. I'm gonna probably be kicking it with him. I'm gonna probably be
What?
kicking at your Pops good.
That's how niggas been doing me since like 1988.
Well, what would you do if the shoe was on the other foot?
I'd skip and go straight to pops. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So you got don't take it personal.
But see now, it's a lot harder for me to get that nigga to cook for me and like DJ for me and like all that kind of shit.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's really hard. So
Sorry, man. Sorry, you're a son. You're a son. It's a little different.
PodSon radio. And so you also engineer records and stuff like that, like orchestrate songs and put
Orchestrate,
people.
I'd say. I've engineered, but I only engineered well enough to be trash.
Well, I meant like I didn't mean literally engineer, but
Okay.
when you mix up the components, like I actually added one of your songs to my playlist, and it's got Markel Dewan, even though he is on set. And yo, fans, I tried to bring y'all something special and tried to get this nigga to come spit an exclusive acapella 16 for y'all, but
He
he wants
busy over
to.
there. He over there. He over there writing raps right now. You know what I
He's
mean? So,
smoking blunts, nigga.
and writing raps. He doing it all over there right now. Nigga is a multi-talented guy.
I just want well then he should be able to write raps and hop on the podcast and spit the 16 real quick then, right?
That's more of a scheduling issue.
No, okay, he wants to jump Dougie and shit like that. I see. But this show is about giving the real. So let him know when he does come to my platform, it won't matter how shiny the chain is. We're gonna get to the grit. We're
No,
gonna get
that's of course, but it's like as an artist, you know what I mean. Nigga gotta be respected. You gotta come to the proper channels. You gotta hit him up and schedule it that way, and it's done. You know what I mean? Nigga ain't just gonna be like, oh shit, what you doing? I'm in my pajamas. Shit, I'm gonna come fuck with y'all.
why
You know,
not? Come
spit a
on, man.
freestyle.
This is
Nah,
that.
nigga, come
This
on, bro. That's
is that.
presentation, Brandon. Presentation, son. Behind the scenes, that's cool.
Yo. Well, the thing about it for me is I feel like you're gonna be PodSon whether that chain is on or if it ain't. Niggas,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Like who you are shines through. I'm finna shine whether my beard is the crispiest or nigga, if I was pulling fucking ants
Maybe,
out the mother
maybe.
questionable.
It sounds
Questionable.
good, but nah, I would say, bro, even if it was me, like I just like to schedule shit. You know what I mean? If somebody had put me on, I'll say what's up, but I ain't gonna come chop shit with you because I wasn't planning on doing that at the moment.
Oh no, well I wasn't talking about doing no interview either,
Nah,
nigga.
even just
16
to,
and get your crusty ass up out my motherfucking screen and put PodSon's crusty ass. Just
yeah,
slightly less crusty. No,
that ain't, nah. Come on, man, you gotta do it differently than that for
no
yourself
you
as an artist, not branding the interview, branding the artist. You know what I'm saying?
well
How you walk is how people see you.
look, no for real, but I mean Brandon the artist, if PodSon asks him to do something, a spit of 16 is always gonna give that man a 16. I might brush my teeth real quick, comb my hair. You know what I'm saying? Might not comb my hair, but I'll always brush my teeth first and deliver it. But
Yeah, but
I will
that's
say
your
that's a
style.
big thing. That's a big thing though, is presentation and how you look. And you're keen to that. What made you that way? You got flamed really bad? Or
Nah,
those
it ain't even
shoes?
so much how you look to me. Like honestly, it's a much deeper perspective. To me, this is me because it's how I feel. And I don't even wear a lot of different clothes. Like I wear the same shoes for a year in a row. I wear white tees, I wear black tees. You know what I mean? But for me, I do like to be clean. But on a deeper sense, bro, it's about just standing on like how you carry yourself. That don't mean you have to look well, but that mean at all times like you gotta glow in some sense. You know what I mean? And it's like if you don't feel it, people ain't gonna feel it. You know what I mean? So you don't have to look great, but whatever it is you gotta do, you do it the best and you do it the greatest, and you make sure your shit is on 10 at all times. You know what I mean? So that's more what I mean by presentation. It don't matter what you're wearing. Like I promise, I'm not a nigga who got a deep wardrobe or no shit like that. I got like 5 pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's just that I stay clean. You know what I mean? But it's just about presenting yourself well in those
Shine moment.
situations. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. So that's the message.
Okay.
If y'all got any kids listening, message to the kids.
For sure. No, that was super that I mean that's what I try to say. That's is what I was saying. Except for hey, yeah. No, man, I don't know. If you I like I don't know. It's not like I'm not, like fresh, but I do look a lot rougher this episode than others. Maybe I'm tired from doing this fucking
Man,
show every fucking
nah, but that's
day.
your thing, though. You know what I mean? You don't really.
I don't. I'm bipolar, so just whoever I am that morning is who you gonna get for real. For real.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit. I can sense that. I mean, we having some
No.
fun when I come to Atlanta, though.
Oh, bro. Oh my gosh. But you remember that nigga shooting in the air when
Oh
we?
my goodness! I swear to you,
Yeah.
bro. I've told people that story, and nobody can believe it. I'm gonna call you next time I want to tell that story. I swear to God. Swear
No.
to God,
Yeah.
bro.
No. So, like, we were working on a project. We ain't gonna quite talk about what it was, but he was out here.
We're
We
still
was
gonna
working
fuck
on a
around.
yeah, and we were taking a break from the project to pick up smoke, and like this had to have been the most ghettoest experience with a nigga
Oh
who's
my
not
god, of
ghetto
my
at
life.
all that we've ever gone through. But so we're driving. There's cops pulled up over there. Whatever. We're minding our own business, and then on the side of us, there's a nigga, arm in the
He
air, gun
he could
in
have killed us.
hand, pow, 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 pow,
He could
just
have killed
shooting
us.
in the air, and it was the driver of the vehicle shooting in the fucking air for
The
no
cops right
reason.
here. Cops right here
Cops
to the right. Nigga, I
right.
said Atlanta is ill as fuck. When I seen that shit happen, I said Atlanta ill than a motherfucker. Like, nigga, the police was right there. This nigga let off like 5 of them bitches. If he pointed at us, we'd have been dead right there.
Bro, and I was literally like, he was at like, basically, you're me and I'm him with the medium splitting us. Like, if he had shot right over, I would not be
Trouble. Yeah.
here right now.
Niggas would have been fucked up, bro. Yeah, that was one of the wildest things I've seen in my life. And I've seen some wild shit. Like, it was like, I don't even know how to explain that. Like in Phoenix, the cop would immediately turn his lights on. And this is another thing. The guy wasn't even the first car at the light to where he could have just took off. He was like
Literally,
three or four cars back. So he stopped, like just stopped and shooting in the
and
air.
the cop
Pull,
didn't even react
Cops
to
ain't
it.
want no smoke. Cops ain't want no smoke at all. And I don't want to hear nothing about protect and serve. I don't want to hear none of that brave shit. Niggas be all about it when a nigga unarmed and they acting crazy. This nigga pulled out a gun and shot right in front the law. Like right in front, started dumping. Niggas ain't want no smoke. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I've seen it with my own eyes. Like,
Man, that's, well, blessed that we're both still here able to do this.
man, cops was pussy as hell. Fact.
And I didn't think of it that way, but
Think
like,
about
I
it.
know that no, you know exactly what you're talking about for surely. Like,
They were right there. Like, we're right here, shooter right here, cops right here. Shooter can't even flee. Like, these niggas ain't want no, they ain't want to ask no questions, nothing. Because they knew what time it would have been. This nigga busting out at nothing. He definitely gonna bust at us if we come. You know what I mean? Like, they ain't want none of those problems. I seen it with my eyes.
yeah.
And you was there.
I, I don't even know what to say after that. But so let's get back to your interviewing and stuff like that. What is some of the most well, who was your mentor in
Um,
interviewing?
I don't know, bro. I would say it's probably a few of them. Charlemagne is one of them. Now, at least, when I was young, I really like Joe Rogan too. Actually, let's say that. I don't think Joe Rogan is like honestly the fucking greatest. But when I was young, I would say I looked up to more like radio DJs who at the time I thought had good interviewing skills, but really they didn't. You know what I mean? So I didn't know too much about like the big time, like Howard Stern or Tom Joyner or none of that type of shit. But now I really fuck with Charlemagne and Joe Rogan for the most part. Like, yeah, I
Well,
would say.
that's interesting because it's funny. Because it's still just as controversial. It's just kind of like directed in a different, in a less raunchy, racist, sexist direction.
Yeah. And you should never do that. And that's why I respect, like, I even like Joe Rogan more than Charlemagne because I think Charlemagne's probably always been a wonderful interviewer, but I think there were times where he wanted to cater to the almost the controversy or whatever, could get him the most like ratings and if you're a real journalist, you kind of, it's not saying you take it slow, you take it as it comes. but you also don't compromise your integrity by not doing journalism. You know what I mean? And that's my view on a lot of things. So I think Charlamagne used to do that a lot early, but I think now he's got into a lane where he conducts wonderful, well thought out, like intellectual interviews. On top of that, he pushes like positive agendas and about mental health and all type of stuff, not like faithful and all type of different stuff. Like you can see him just growing into his own, and it shows in his work. So I 100% admire everything that he does now to this point. But I would say overall, definitely probably Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan could interview anybody and get them to, like, he could bring it out of you. Anybody, he could talk to anybody. Like, and I really respect that, because interviewing gives you a lot of different skills just from people skills and dealing with people, conversing with people and things like that. So I like watching him in action and shit, and I kind of like soak up a lot of game.
For sure. Have you read Charlamagne's books? Is there one that you would suggest to read above the others or anything?
I read all of Black Privilege, fire. I read the second one, but I only read it, I want to say 2/3 of it, maybe 200 pages or 150 pages. I didn't really like it because I didn't like the way it was written. I'm not gonna say I didn't. I agree. Like I said, I love the message and everything that he's pushing, but the way that book was written, I really didn't like. I was like, well, why didn't I just go read these doctors' quotes and shit from where they were? You know what I mean? I feel like it was more of that, but Black Privilege, that shit was 5 stars, so I give him that.
I see. So you didn't have necessarily like a person around you that was your mentor?
No. You know what, bro? This is how I'll give it to you. Because I told you about the radio shit. This is how I really, really got started. When I was young, if you'd asked me what I wanted to be, I would have told you a sports reporter. Because I watched ESPN like a college student. I'm talking about like a college student pays attention to his classes. So like I even remember stats, and like I got to a point where I thought I was autistic. That's how many stats I remember and how much I could replay what went on in the game. I was analytical about this shit. I was a real sports reporter and like writer and shit. So like that's where my real passion come from. It initially came from sports, 100%, bro. And it wasn't like I was just writing about my favorite teams. I was writing about any and everything. I was doing book reports about this shit, current events, everything, bro. So that's really where it's coming from.
Wow. So can you still keep stats like that? Do you still follow
Absolutely.
stats like that?
I don't follow it as closely, but like even though shit's from back in the day, I remember a lot of just weird ass, random ass numbers, scores, dates, all type of shit, bro. Like weird shit I could rattle
off. Name a few. Give some crazy stats real quick. Come on. I'm putting you on the spot, nigga. Come on. Let's see what you got.
I'll give you a few, bro. I remember for a fact, bro, the Yankees in 2004 against the Red Sox, Game 7, were down 6-0 in the second inning, bro. Like that type of shit. If you go back and watch the game, they got off to a 6-0 lead. And I think Johnny Damon, now this I can't say specifically, led off the second inning with a single. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
Google that.
I know for sure correct. The score is correct. The absolute action I just said, I'm not sure, but it's somewhere close to that. You know what I mean? But like, just weird shit. Or the Spurs was beating Detroit Pistons by 9 in the finals when they clinched in 2005. But when the Spurs clinched, but the Detroit Pistons was winning 83-74, and then Greg Popovich called a timeout with like 9 minutes to go or some shit, and the Spurs came back and won that bitch. You know what I mean? So like just different, like strange ass shit, bro. And that's baseball and fucking basketball. You know what I mean? Like just I was watching all sports, bro, and just that's what we was doing. You know what I mean? Like
have you been watching the Jordan documentary? Holy shit!
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. Last Dance fire.
Inspired. I mean, yes, very like his competitive nature is ridiculous. But did you hear what Horace Grant said?
I did. Hold on, real quick.
Horace Grant said that if he played poorly, Jordan would not let him eat.
What? Nah, see, I must have missed that. What? How can you not let a grown man eat? That just sounds stupid. How does that work?
Jordan's close enough to God to stop a grown ass man from eating.
No, the hell he's not. No man is close to God. I can't get with you on
I'm
that.
not saying from my
You just
opinion.
said he was close to God. From whose opinion is he close to God, Brandon?
Bro, in the media everywhere, they compare him to that. Literally on the documentary, they showed the clip where he was compared to that.
You talking about the Black Jesus?
No. Come
So I
on.
don't know.
Now, are
Yeah.
you sure you watched the same documentary I
I'm
watched?
pretty sure. I'm all the way caught up,
He's
but I
held
ain't
on a
getting with that.
pedestal. He's the
Regardless,
best
I'm not
player
with
in
that rhetoric.
basketball. So you're trying to tell me that him being the best player in basketball and having all that pool with money, he could not tell Horace Grant what to do. Do
Fuck
you really
no.
want Michael Jordan mad at you?
I don't give a fuck if Michael Jordan is mad at me. Fuck Michael Jordan. Not literally, but he's a fucking man, bro. Like, what are we talking about? You tripping. You definitely
I'm
tripping.
not talking about me. I'm
I'm
not
talking about
talking
Horace
about me.
Grant. Or if Michael Jordan try to stop Horace Grant from eating, Horace Grant needs to
Bro,
sock Michael Jordan in his damn eye. It's like on his mouth. Like, seriously.
if you've
You know?
watched the documentary, Horace Grant had a lot of hoish behavior going
So
on
let's
with
say that.
himself.
Let's not say Michael Jordan's God. Let's say Horace Grant was acting like a hoe, which I don't agree with none of those at all. But I'm just speaking generally. You know what I mean?
Nah.
But a great documentary. Like I honestly, and a lot of the criticism Michael Jordan has received, I also don't agree with. You know what I mean? Like people saying he went too hard on his teammates. Now that other shit you talking about would be too much, and at that point, me and Mike gotta have a problem. But as far as like talking shit, ridiculing back and forth, and just trying to motivate, make a nigga better, like I 100% agree with that. You know?
I'm torn. Watching it, I'm very torn because I can see that he feels like he came from a good place, but it also like, man, that nigga hated Jerry Krause.
Yeah. I mean, Jerry Krause, I feel like was unqualified. Like I feel like I used to get a lot of jobs when I was young. I was hella unqualified for. I feel like Jerry Cross get a lot of jobs. He got jobs he was unqualified for because he was cool with the Reinsdorf family or whatever the family's name is.
Well, speaking of, so okay, qualified for the job or not? What's advice that you can give people who go through that, or like, does it matter if you're qualified for a job or
No,
not? Is
because
the ultimate question.
most of these jobs, you're gonna have to go through the training anyway in order to get the true qualifications that you're gonna need to perform it. So if you, which most humans are gonna adapt and adjust regardless, I guarantee you put most humans through any training, they're gonna be able to do what the fuck you ask them to do, unless they just 100% not into it or they have some sort of deficiency in an area or two. So I don't believe in all that shit, man. I believe lie on your resume if you have to. Do whatever you got to do to get in the motherfucking door. After that, it's up to you to perform, which most of the time, like I said, you put a human back against the wall, they gonna do just that. And that's what I see in my experience, you know.
Okay. I mean, so with the skit that we saw earlier, are you gonna be getting more into film stuff and
Yeah, man.
comedy?
Yeah, man. I've just been asleep, man. That's one thing I've slacked on. Even those skits, we just shot those with my iPhone real quick, which I still even do that. But it's just a effort. You know, I got to give more effort and more time to it. You know, stop being lazy. That's all. But it's coming for sure. And when I come, I'm gonna really come. Like even those is just half-hearted. Those is cool. Them ain't planned out. Them is nothing. You know, them is us sitting around chilling, pulling out the camera. When I come with it, I'm gonna come with it. You know.
And
Facts.
they're based off of classic films. The one that we opened up the show with was
Minister. Oh no, that was Paid in Full. That was Paid in Full.
an ode to Paid in Full. Hilarious.
You know,
And
Alpo is free, right? The Rico dude. You know, the real guy is free.
hey, I'm gonna try
That
and
ain't
get an
even cool.
interview with Alpo.
I actually know his son, Paparazzi Poe. That's what's crazy. Swear to God.
Let's do a tag team interview with him,
I
bro.
wouldn't interview him. I don't need that type of energy at all. I'm sure you can pull it off. I wouldn't do it. I'm good.
I'm gonna see. This is why I brought you on here, because I needed to get advice and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, I don't just do
It
anything,
was
bro. I interviewed Stacy from the Wood, and I threw like a small half probably clip out, but I never put it out because it was so fucked up. Like it was a sad day. You know what I'm saying? Like, but most people would have threw that type of shit out and be like, "Oh, check this out." You know what I'm saysaying? Like, I don't do none of that
That's
type
why
of shit.
Joe Rogan ain't put out that Kanye interview he's got in the stash.
Because Kanye probably went crazy.
Yeah, because you remember they had been saying that there was gonna be the Kanye Joe Rogan interview, and I
Nah, I
believe it
didn't even
happened.
remember that. That's crazy.
Well,
Yeah, I
that's an
didn't
epic
remember that.
interview in the vault. But like, okay, how do you walk that line between getting content and being like, this isn't good TV? And like, can we get any insight in what Stacy did?
I think it's more, yeah, I'll chop it up with you about it. Like, it's different from me chopping it up about it versus me throwing it out there, marketing it, and trying to do shit like that. But I would say it's more the person I am, bro. And I ain't gonna compromise my integrity. And that's just one thing I've been against. Like I said, I need one thing I know I need to do is market better. But as far as just that viral shit, like I got all kinds of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like loads and loads of it. It ain't like just a little bit. I got all kinds of that shit, bro. Like from all type of different people, all kinds of shit. It's just not my style to chase the, like I do it from a real place of passion. Yeah, I have a strategic plan, obviously, that I've been following as far as the business side of things. But I'm cool with that as it comes and how it works out. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm chasing the checks or doing this for the wrong reasons or anything. I'm doing it because I'm doing it to create something that's gonna last, and long after I'm gone, you're gonna be able to look back and see the I told.
You're back. You're back. You're back. For sure. Well,
Sorry about that. I was getting a call.
oh damn. But so, well, it was great having you, Mr. PodSon. Underneath, let's run his ticker down there real quick.
Hey, anytime, bro. For real. Thank you, man. Like, I swear, and you just put me on game because this app is fucking dope. So I'm gonna try to learn how to use it myself so I can start doing some shit on there. Bro, just consistency, bro, overall. Like, if anything, if you're really looking for advice, stay consistent. I know you said you deal with this, that, and the third, but just make sure you stay consistent. And that's all I say. And then everything should go far.
Oh, for sure. You know, I mean, I've never stopped making music. I've never stopped being myself. It's just about always presenting your best self, which I guess is consistency. But we're
That's
here on
right.
Let's Pod TV, and we're gonna play. I think his phone is ringing again. We're gonna
I
play
used to
one
have two
last
phones.
2 phones.
I don't know more. I just got rid of one of them. But hold on. I don't know where my
We're
video went.
Well, we're about to play your closing. We're about to play one last skit from my man's. This is based off Menace to Society. Hilarious. Enjoy. Laugh.
I seen a lot of bitches fuck before, but I never fuck one myself. Never really had a reason to. But once I seen they fuck my cousin, I knew I was gonna fuck them.
Hey, nigga, you see my motherfucking tape? Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see that little tape you did. Shit, you should have brought it to the Phoenix kid. I blew it back out, nigga. Nigga, what you talking about, nigga? It's all about PodSon, nigga. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna be harder than that nigga. What's that nigga Brian Pumper and shit? I'm gonna be a big ass porn star and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Look, nigga, I told you stop showing the fucking video.
Man, why you keep bitching about my motherfucking tape? Nigga, we finna just find these motherfucking bitches and fuck them, nigga. This shit ain't that hard. Alright? Alright?
Look, nigga, I ain't fucking no fat bitches or no cockeye hoes.
Nigga, who the fuck gonna be fat? Who cockeyed out there, motherfucker?
I'll fuck anybody. I just don't give a fuck. Not me, I ain't fucking no fat hoes.
Man, these motherfucking hoes done sucked up your goddamn cousin in front of you, nigga. Sucked his balls in front of your face and you ain't gonna do shit? Man, fuck that. I ain't letting that shit ride. Now all we got to do is find these motherfucking hoes and fuck them, nigga. I'm about to go out there. I don't give a fuck who out there, nigga. God damn it. Is you down, nigga? Man, both of y'all shut the fuck up. Acting like some bitches. I'm finna go get some moist kitten. And man, give me my motherfucking condoms back, nigga.
Yo, yo, yo. Well, all right. That's episode 9. And we'll be back tomorrow with episode 10. Deuces.